and gentlemen, and welcome to my review of this week's manga chapter of One Piece. A very exciting chapter where Luffy and his friends prepare to form an uneasy alliance with Capone Beiji, so this way they can take down the malicious Big Mom. But you're gonna forget all about that when you remember that this week's chapter features both Carrot and Nami bathing together. I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. I know it's not going to be a popular opinion, but I am a very big fan of Carrot. She is probably my favorite female character from the series. I absolutely want her to be the next Straw Hat Pirate, and I'm very enamored with her overall. And getting to see her bathe with Nami in this week's chapter, well, frankly, my friends, I went from 6 to midnight. 2D artwork inspired boners aside, this was a pretty fantastic chapter of One Piece. I think my favorite thing about it is that it looks like Luffy and his group are going to be going through a wardrobe change to make them look a little bit more like the Mafia. They're going to be wearing all black, cool hats, lots of sunglasses, and frankly just look really classy and badass all at the same time. Really though, this chapter was basically just a big information dump, although I have to admit, I really loved learning what actually was going on with Lola, who is the twin sister of Chiffon, the two twins who are the daughters of Big Mom. As you all remember, Lola was a very important character during the Thriller Bark saga. We get to learn in this week's chapter that the reason Big Mom has such a huge feud with the Giants is because Lola originally was betrothed to the prince of the Elbaf Kingdom, the Giants. Lola was going to get married to this guy, but she decided to skip town, and they were going to sort of pass off Chiffon as Lola. That ended up going completely wrong, and that's why the Giants want nothing to do with Big Mom, and Big Mom is a very sad panda, because she can't add all of these big-ass giants to her big-ass army. But still, I liked this scene, all because of Carrot and Nami bathing together. I'm sorry, I don't talk about fan service too much, but that scene was just scandalous beyond all belief. I think that's the most skin that we've ever seen from Nami. It leaves little to be desired, and seeing Carrot there just made it all the more adorable and sexy all at the same time. I also really love the fact that Capone won't even meet with anyone unless they're like all prim and proper and super cleaned up. That's the only way that he was actually going to end up meeting with Luffy and his gang, and he doesn't even really seem too happy to even see them in the same room, as he'd much rather just kill them all. It would make things a lot easier for him. The thing is though, he has to keep Sanji alive in order for this wedding to go ahead, and this of course would give him the perfect opportunity to shoot Big Mom right in her big ass nose. I wonder though, however, if everything does go off without a hitch, this is all done, they actually do end up defeating Big Mom and saving the day, is Capone going to immediately turn on Luffy and start firing some bullets? I have a feeling that is something that he would actually do. Also, the fact that Caesar Clown is back and has a ridiculous brand new outfit and alias, acting as the brother of Capone by the name of Gastino, is really funny. The name itself, of course, is a pun on his actual powers, being a gas man, but his overall appearance is funny, and the fact that he doesn't even really try to hide who he is, still with his signature laugh, makes that one of the funniest scenes that I've seen from the series. And it basically all ends with just sort of Luffy, Capone, and Caesar just yelling at the top of their lungs, trying to come up with the perfect plan. So what's the rundown on this week's chapter of One Piece? A very wordy chapter, but still one that I really liked. There was a lot of humor in this chapter as well. I really love the scene of Luffy and Brook actually going into the hideout of the Fire Tanks pirates and basically just sort of raiding their fridge and making themselves completely at home. I thought that was really fantastic. I also really loved Jinbei in this chapter, who was really just acting as the most mature person in the room, and basically acting as sort of like a mediator between both groups, trying to get them to work together so that they can ultimately get to their goal, which is defeating Big Mom, saving Germa 66, and basically taking out one of the biggest pirates in the entire series. I don't see Luffy being too happy with this alliance. We've seen a lot of situations in the past where he'd willingly go along with, say, someone like Trafalgar Law, but he's got kind of a grudge against Capone, not only because he's just a really powerful pirate, but the fact that he hurt one of his friends. He freaking just, like, completely destroyed Pecoms with a flurry of bullets, and Luffy's really angry about that to the point where he actually wants to punch him in order to sort of make things even, and it ends up just turning into this big mess. It's just ridiculous. Also, I loved the freaking big artwork they had at the beginning of this week's chapter, with all of the Straw Hat Pirates playing a game of American football. The Bisons versus the Monkeys. These type of scenes are what I absolutely love about these big panels because, one, half the time, they make no freaking sense, but it's really fun to see these characters in some really outlandish situations, and I really wish they would take more of these and turn them into filler episodes in the anime version, even if they're only one episode long. You guys know that you want to see a hard-ass episode of One Piece where they're all playing a big game of American football. That would just be fun. Incorporate their powers, incorporate the humor. This is something that I actually do want to see. That being said, this week's chapter was very simple, as it's basically just preparing to meet Capone Beiji and come up with some big plans to take down Big Mom. The good thing is, it was very visually appealing, had some funny stuff, we got to learn a little bit more about the Giants and their relationship with Big Mom, not to mention learning a little bit more about Lola. And you can definitely see that Nami's already getting along perfectly with Chiffon. And speaking of Chiffon, I'm actually kind of, shocked to see that she's actually kind of going along with this plan. She's basically sort of dismissed her mother at this point, seeing the terrible things that she's done, the way that she just sort of gives up her daughters like it's not even really a problem for her. She's willing to go along with Capone in this plan if it means that she's able to keep her family and her very creepy-looking baby Pez. It's a little strange, but actually I do like the angle, as I originally thought that Capone was basically just going to be using Chiffon as a stepping stone to get up to Big Mom. But the fact that they do have a child together, maybe they really are in love. We really haven't seen too many scenes between these characters, but we'll just have to wait and see. What I will say is that Capone's gang is filled with a lot of really ridiculous characters, and I can't wait to see them in action, as this arc is going to turn into one hell of a showdown, and it is going to be exciting with all of these different factions just going at each other. I especially can't wait to see Germa66's reaction to everything that's going on as well, as they're sort of blissfully ignorant of everything that is going on right now, aside of course from Reiju, but we'll just have to wait to see that materialize. What I will say is, this week's chapter was freaking awesome. It gets a 5 out of 5 from me, and that's all because of the Carrot and Nami scene in the hot tub. I'm sorry, I just really like that one. Give me this one, guys. I never talk about fan service that much, and a lot of the times it can be kind of a turn-off for me. But I really liked it this week. I just can't put my finger on it. So, there it is. That's my thoughts on this very exciting chapter of One Piece. I thought it was a 5 out of 5. I thought it was a really great build-up. There were a lot of fantastic, funny scenes, great artwork, introduction of some brand new characters, some backstories on some of the classic ones, and the promise of this big, epic confrontation coming in the future. This was a solid read. Check it out, One Piece fans. I want to hear your thoughts about it, and you can tell me in the comments section below. Did you like this chapter? Did you not like this chapter? Did you like the Carrot Nami scene like I did? What do you think is really going to happen with this big freaking alliance between Luffy and the Capones? What do you want to see from this big confrontation? We're only a mere couple of hours away from the wedding. Please tell me your thoughts and hopes in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for everything One Piece related. Please leave me a comment or two. And if you liked this video, why don't you give it a thumbs up and like it and share it with your friends. I will see you guys next time. And as always, stay dandy, baby.